Order, it's November 26, 2024, 3 p.m. Is there any changes to the agenda, Mr. Josephson? Or?
Chairman Franchuk. I almost said Chairman Friedrich. It's like,
Yeah.
no, I'm over at the county today. Chairman Franchuk, Commissioners, staff does not have any changes to the agenda.
Okay, I'll look for a motion to approve then.
So moved.
So moved, I have a motion to have a second.
I'll second.
Have a second. All in favor, state aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carried. Next, we have the minutes from our last meeting on October 31st, 2024. Is there any corrections to those minutes?
Mr. Chair, I would move to approve the minutes as presented.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second.
Commissioners, before you vote on that, there was one correction. Do you care to comment on that, Commissioner Larson?
No, I just brought it to their attention. They were spelling my name wrong. I have an
Okay,
E-N instead of an O-N.
okay. Okay. With that
With
correction.
that correction.
Okay,
Move to approve with that correction.
okay. I'll have a second on that.
Second.
Okay. All in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried. Okay, first item on our agenda is a public hearing for MSP 06224 for Matthew Sprawn. It says Sprawn has been, is requesting approval of replat of lots 3, 4, 5 of Block 2 Buffalo Heights subdivision within Government Lot 1 in the northeast one quarter of Section 5, Township 139 North, Range 94 West, Stark County, North Dakota, containing approximately 4.82 acres. You just step up to the podium and state your name there, and then just state what your plan is, and then,
My name is Mike Wormley. I'm the land surveyor that
okay,
prepared the platform.
okay,
He owns the current, I think, Lot 3, his neighbor own, and they co-own Lot 4. And then his neighbor owns 5, and they're just looking to just readjust the lot lines so they each have a bigger lot, and that's the gist of it.
okay.
Nothing crazy. Consolidating, making it easier tax purposes or whatever.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? Any questions? Okay,
I've got a question.
yes.
So I'm used to working in bigger cities where on these plats, they give you kind of the nomenclature the county or city wants to see on it. So like the Planning and Zoning Commission, I've seen some surveys or some plats record chair and then they have like your name. Does it matter if I put somebody's name? Like positions change, like that's why I didn't want to put a name initially. But I
Okay.
don't know what the county or city requires or asks, so.
Norm, they just put chairman on there, and then there's whoever
Okay.
the chair at the time.
Because I mean, you guys, so there's only a couple chairmen and then the rest are you're all commissioners? or-
All commissioners with one chair, right? It's elected yearly,
Yes, and yeah, that's the reason they used to put the names on there, but you know what? Things can change and then somebody's got to cross that off. It's just
Simpler,
easier to just put
keep it basic, yeah.
chair on there and keep it easy.
Any questions then, or any other questions? If not, then I'm gonna open the public hearing then. Does anybody have any comment for this request? For replat? Anybody have any comment for or against this request? Anybody have anything for or against this request? Hearing none, then I'm gonna close the public hearing then. Mr. Joseph, your recommendations on this?
Yes, thank you, Chairman Franchuk. Commissioner Steve Josephson, County Planner. Yes, as you have before you, it's a minor subdivision plat. I think as Mr. Wormley explained, the property owners just want to reconfigure this. They want to take that middle lot and split it between the two of them. At the county level, that requires coming in for a minor subdivision plat. What the owners are proposing is not out of line with the lot sizes in that subdivision, in that general area. Staff recommends approval subject to the findings in the staff report, and I'm here to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions? Okay, no questions, then I'll look for a motion on this matter.
Mr. Chairman, I would move to approve MSP 0624, the replats of lots 3, 4, and 5 of Block 2 of Buffalo Heights subdivision.
Okay, I have a motion, I have a second.
I'll second.
I have a second. Any other discussion? Not, then roll call vote. Commissioner Claris,
Aye.
Commissioner Larson,
Aye.
Commissioner Lemay,
Aye.
Commissioner Freilich,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddle,
Aye.
Commissioner Richard. The chair votes aye, motion carried. Okay, this will go before the county commission meeting next week, Tuesday on the 3rd, so for final approval. Okay. And then we next on our agenda is a public hearing for an RZ 0624 for Drayton Feynman is requesting a rezoning from agriculture to rural residential on a property legally describes a tract located in the southwest quarter of the southwest quarter and a 30-foot easement of section 11, Township 140 North, Range 95 West, Stark County, North Dakota, containing approximately 5 acres. Is there someone here representing? Can you just step up to the podium and just state what your plan is then? And state your name for the record.
Drayton Feynman.
Okay.
I just need to get my land switched or rezoned so I can build a house and put up a few, like a barn and stuff, so
Okay.
that's about it.
Have any questions for Mr. Feynman? Okay, if there are no questions, then I'm gonna open the public hearing then. Does anybody have any comment on this request for rezoning? Anybody have any comment for or against this request? Anybody for the public have any comment for or against this request for rezoning? Hearing none, then I'm gonna close the public hearing on that. Mr. Josephson, your recommendations?
Thank you, Chairman Franchuk, Commissioners, Steve Josephson, County Planner. Yes, you have before you a request to rezone this 5-acre property from agriculture to rural residential. Staff finds that it's consistent with the county's comprehensive plan, and it matches it generally matches the development pattern in that area. One thing I do want to clarify is is that when the rezoning is done, there was a part in the legal description that described a 30-foot easement. That will actually not be, the only part of that will be rezoned is the part that's on the applicant's property. So I just wanted to make that clear that all and that will be in that'll be in what goes in front of the county commission next week. We will take out that part that references a 30-foot easement. And that's how the applicant wishes to access the property is to take it off of, I believe that's, what is it, 104th or, take it off of that. It would come over somebody else's property and they need the easement for that. But the rezoning will not include that easement itself. The staff recommends approval subject to the findings in the staff report, and I'm here to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for Mr. Josephson?
Steve, I just have one question, and it really has nothing to do with whether we approve it or, is there an approach on the, coming off of 32nd Street onto that property?
The applicants have indicated to me that they don't want that. They don't want an approach off of 32nd. They want to take that easement. They want to take the easement and come in that way.
Is
It's
there
an
an
easement
approach there
that
now?
goes to the west. Would you please, can you answer that question?
Oh, there's not,
There is, and Al has approved,
yeah.
They have been in touch with Road Supervisor Al Heiser.
okay, thank you.
Kind of a hidden hill there, on to 32nd and
Can you go up,
Come up.
please, and get on the record, please, and just state your name?
Pull that microphone up too, please. Thank you.
I'm Janelle Feynman, so we're the landowner of where the easement goes through. So going on to 32nd, it's kind of dangerous to pull onto there because there's a hill right there. So that's why kind of gonna go on it
Right,
through our property on 104th.
Okay.
understandable. Thank you very much.
Okay, any other questions? If not, I'd like to look for a motion on this matter then.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve RZ 06-.
Okay, I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Have a second, okay, any other discussion? Not, then I'll do a roll call vote. Commissioner Richard. Commissioner Lemay.
Aye.
Commissioner Larson.
Aye.
Commissioner Claris.
Aye.
Commissioner Freilich.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddle.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carried. And this will go before the county commission next week, Tuesday on the third for final approval. Okay, do you have any questions or?
No.
Okay,
And
thank
I
you.
just wanted to add that, that anybody can, because these aren't time certain, if you want to be able to listen to the meetings, the Zoom and the information that's on there, you can call in and listen, so.
Or attend in person if you want. Okay, next item on our agenda is a public hearing for TUP 0124 for ASWS is requesting a temporary use permit for above-ground freshwater storage tanks on a property with an address of 3075 112th Avenue Southwest, located in the southeast quarter of Section 5, Township 140, Range 96 West, Stark County, North Dakota, containing approximately 145.90 acres. Is there anybody representing him there? Okay, you just state your name then and,
Nick Letang, I'm the owner of the property,
okay?
and what we're doing, we've got the special use permit for a water depot, and we used to have all the trucks come in, load water, and leave, hundreds of trucks. Now what we're doing is they're setting up the big Poseidon tanks, the 1-million-gallon water tanks, and they'll set several of them there. They come in, set them up in a day, fill them with water, run just a single hose out to wherever the frack is, and a pump, and then that's it. And then when they're done, it takes about a month, 6 weeks, whatever the frack takes, sometimes less. They come down, take the tank down, and it's gone. And so it eliminates thousands of truckloads of water. You know, they can just transfer it by hose. They
Okay.
set up one pump, pump it out.
Okay, and we have any questions or?
Actually, Commissioners, I did want to add something to this. So the depot that's there was approved back in 2011, and they came with the renewal every 6 years, and the owners did renew that. It's supposed to expire, I think, in 1 year, 2 years, something like that. 2026. I had a conversation with it's Letang?
Yes.
Letang prior to the meeting, and what he's proposing to do is to actually come in and ask for a conditional use permit that would change what the use is. It would be for a water depot, but it would be using this method with hoses on it, and there would be no more trucks coming through. So we will work with him. We'll work with him to get an application before you, and then it would, more than likely, we would just repeal the original one, and it will save a lot of truck traffic, which I think a lot of the people who live in that area will probably be grateful
But
for.
literally have hundreds of trucks there. Worry about accidents and everything else. They run 24 hours a day. And now this would just eliminate. We still have an occasional truck that comes in for well maintenance and stuff. But there are just so few of those. And,
And the reason this is before you as a temporary use permit was because I spoke to the representative of ASWS, and that's how they presented it. They were only gonna be there for 30 days, but if this is something that they want to replace the existing depot with a depot that doesn't have any trucks, then, we'll work with the property owner and bring something back to the Planning and Zoning Commission for public hearing.
they'd still be just temporary tanks. I mean, they're there for a month for the frack, and then they take them down and they leave. There may not be another frack there for years. We don't know. It could be one in 6 months, but yeah, they're just not. There's enough water around here to do a lot of fracking right now. So, but anyway, so the tanks are temporary, nothing permanent.
Okay. Any other questions? or-
Will this be in addition to the other tanks that are already there?
There aren't
What we
any.
have there is, right now, is they have like some temporary frack tanks that just come in, and then everything disappears.
Okay.
Only thing that'll be left there in between all these things is just the building.
Okay. I'm gonna open up the public hearing then, if anybody has any comments for or against this request for a temporary use permit. Anybody from the public, got any comment on a temporary use permit? Anybody anybody from the public have any comment on this request? Hearing none, I'm gonna close the public hearing then. Mr. Joseph, your recommendations?
Yes, Chairman Franchuk, Commissioner Steve Josephson, County Planner. You have the, Mr. Letang, you know, did a good job of describing what the temporary use permit will be for. Staff looked at this and found that it wouldn't cause any additional, you know, any additional impacts in the area, and the fact that they're taking trucks off the road would be a positive thing. The thing that we just wanted to make sure of was that, staff wanted to make sure of was that where the temporary tanks are going is, number one, they would meet the development standards in terms of setbacks for the agriculture zoning district, and number two, that no tanks would inadvertently be placed in the county's right-of-way. So staff recommends approval subject to the conditions. I know that the applicant's representative had read the conditions and had no objections to them. So the only thing I added in here was they gave me revised site plans showing how far apart the buildings are gonna be and where they're gonna be set back from the property line. So staff recommends approval, subject to the findings in the staff report, and I'm here to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions? If not, I'll look for a motion.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair, I move that the planning and zoning recommend approval of the temporary use permit 01-24 as with the conditions set before us.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Any other discussion? Not, then we'll go roll call vote. Commissioner Freilich,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddle,
Aye.
Commissioner Richard, Commissioner Claris,
Aye.
Commissioner Larson,
Aye.
Commissioner May.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carried. Then this will go before our county commission on Tuesday morning. Okay. Next, we have a public hearing for RZ 0724 for Justin and Megan, how do you pronounce that? Schlecht, okay. Are requesting a rezoning for agriculture residential on a property legally described as track 1 less partial 1, located in the north 1/2 of the northwest quarter of section 15, township 138 north, range 96 west, Stark County, North Dakota, containing approximately 31.32 acres. Step forward and just state your name then.
Yeah, Justin Schlecht, just doing a rezoning. This was one lot. There's also the second parcel that was in there. I'm not sure which one we're talking about first, because next to
The
the next
31 acre one, yeah.
the 31.
There you go.
So there's also the 8 acre lot that's on the next agenda item.
Okay.
That this used to be a 40 acre piece, so it was zoned agriculture. For lending purposes, we broke it into 2 parcels, one with where our house is, and then the rest of it. So I could use my VA loan, which
Okay.
would support the buildings that are on one part, and the VA loan wouldn't support some of the old barns and such. So.
Okay, is there any questions, Mr. Schleich? Okay, hearing none, then I'm gonna open the public hearing on this matter. It's a request for a change of rezoning from agriculture residential. Does anybody have any comment for or against this request? Anybody have any comment for or against this request? Anybody have any comment on this request for rezoning? Hearing none, I'm gonna close the public hearing then. Mr. Joseph, your recommendations.
Thank you, Chairman Franchuk. Commissioner Steve Josephson, County Planner. As the applicant described, he wishes to rezone this 31.31 acre piece from agriculture to agricultural residential. Staff finds that this is It's consistent with the Stark County Comprehensive Plan, and also meets because it's 31 acres, it meets the minimum lot size for the AG zoning district, and also meets the development pattern in this area. Staff recommends approval subject to the findings in the staff report. One thing I will mention is that the applicant has already turned in they plan to plat both this and the other parcel coming up, and that will be coming up at the next Planning and Zoning Commission meeting.
Okay, any questions? If not, then I'm looking for a motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead.
I move that we approve the RZ 0724 as presented.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
You have a second? Any other discussion? Roll call vote then. Commissioner Larson,
Aye.
Commissioner Claris,
Aye.
Commissioner Lemay,
Aye.
Commissioner Valick,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddle,
Aye.
Commissioner Richard. Chair votes aye, motion carried. Okay, then we'll have a public hearing then for RZ 0824 for Justin and Megan Schleck are requesting rezoning from agriculture to rural residential, a property legally described as partial 1 in track 1, located in the north 1/2 of the northwest quarter of section 15, township 138 north, range 96 west, Stark County, North Dakota, containing approximately 8.68 acres. Mr. Schleck.
Justin Schlecht, same situation. Just where the house is, this is the 8 acres or a little more than 8 acres that the house sits on, so,
Okay.
this is the part, so. We do, like, Steve said, we do have the subdivision already applied for and turned in, and have that minor subdivision paperwork all prepped for that, so.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Open the public hearing then on that. Anybody have any comment for or against this rezoning? Anybody from the public, any comment on this rezoning request? Anybody from the public? Any comment on this request? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing. Mr. Joseph, your recommendations on this?
Yes, Chairman Franchuk, Commissioner Steve Josephson, County Planner. As stated, you have before you a request to rezone 8.68 acres from agriculture to rural residential. Staff finds that this request is consistent with the Stark County Comprehensive Plan. It is also again, meets the development pattern in this area. The applicant purchased it, and there's an existing house on there that they're living in, and he's running a home occupation out of there, which is permitted in both the ag and rural residential zoning districts. Staff recommends approval subject to the findings in the staff report, and I'm here to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions? If not, I'll look for a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I would move to approve RZ 0824.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second that
I have a
motion.
second. Any other discussion? If not, then roll call. Commissioner Claris,
Aye.
Commissioner Freilich,
Aye.
Commissioner Riddle,
Aye.
Commissioner Richard, Commissioner Larson,
Aye.
Commissioner Lemay.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carried. And this will go again to our meeting next week, Tuesday, we'll have for final approval for the commission. Okay. I just want to add for the record too, we have two commissioners that are absent today, is John Oderman and Brock White.
You want to introduce?
Also, we have, yes, you were on the online the last time, but we have a new commissioner too, coming on, is, welcome aboard, Mr. Riddle.
Thank you. Welcome.
Okay, Mr. Joseph, do you have anything else for planning items?
Yes, I have two planner items. The first one is, I have a draft of the planning and zoning meeting schedule for 2025. Please keep in mind the county commission dates are tentative because we've got to wait for the county commission to approve those dates. But what I have on there are both the submittal dates and the meeting dates for planning and zoning. The only one I highlighted, and you can see in yellow, is is during the week of Thanksgiving. And I believe that that's also a Tuesday that I have on, that I'm proposing on there. But I just wanted to run this past you and get any comments before this is finalized. I know Kurt's already gone to his calendar.
The November 25th is a Tuesday of 2025.
Yes, and Thanksgiving is on the 27th. So of course, we're closed, the county is closed for business both that day and the day after.
Okay. I guess I'll look for a motion that approve these dates, tentatively, I guess, if on the commission meetings being approved.
So one question, just looking at the December calendar for 2025, you're proposing December 23rd, which is a Tuesday. The following Tuesday is December 30th,
Okay,
which would be, I'm assuming then the commission probably would not meet until January 6th.
yeah, I think
so.
good catch. Let's go ahead and, if y'all are fine with that, we can change, we can go ahead and change that, so it would be on the 30th instead. And I'll assume there'll be enough people in town for a quorum for that. So I will make that adjustment. I think that makes perfect sense. We'll also adjust the submittal date, so that it's a week later.
Okay. Is there anything else?
Yes, I just want to hand out something for commissioners to look at and then hold a work session. Want to hold a work session on it at our next meeting. And the reason I bring this up, commissioners, is because when I first met with Mr. Schlecht about what to do with his property, he had talked about some possibilities on what he wanted to do on that 31 acre piece. One of the things I noticed going through our zoning ordinance, and to be honest with you, this is pretty similar to other zoning ordinances in this part of the state, is we talked about nurseries and greenhouses, and the code, our code is not really specific. It doesn't really differentiate between what a nursery and a greenhouse is. There are no definitions in our code for that. The other thing too is that our code, like several others, says that you can only sell those farm items which are grown on the premises. One thing I did notice looking at Williams County, and I believe there might be another county that did this, where they changed, instead of only, they changed that to primarily. But I just wanted you to look over some of these definitions in terms of greenhouses and nurseries, for a workshop at next meeting. And also, we don't have a definition of roadside stand or of truck gardening. The other thing I just wanted to run past you is what's in the current City of Dickinson code. Now, in agriculture, the difference there is our agricultural zoning district is 40 acres, theirs is 5. But if you look on page 2, they actually permit, in their agriculture zoning district, what's known as a garden center, and it goes into a definition of what that use is. But I just wanted to hand this out, commissioners. If you have any reactions today, that would, if you have any reactions today that, we can discuss this. Otherwise, I just want to bring this up as a workshop item at our next Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. There was a little confusion when Mr. Schlecht and I were talking about, what constituted a greenhouse and what constituted a nursery. And the fact that our current code says only those things grown on the property, I think there probably stands some room to amend the ordinance. I mean, this is something we try to do all the time, is when we go through ordinances, is look for what's working and what potentially doesn't work, and, to look at ways to change the code so that it can work better, or at least in my opinion, work better.
Anybody have any questions?
Mr. Chairman, are we looking for a problem here, or why don't we just leave it the way it is?
Because, as I said, speaking with Mr. Schlecht, it was difficult to figure out what it was exactly that he wanted to do. And I think the other thing too is by saying that it can only be those items that are grown on the property. This gives a little bit of an opportunity to I think primarily gives a little bit of flexibility, to those property owners if they're going to operate nursery or any one of those other uses.
It's in a rural area, though. Wouldn't it be just
Well, that will be part of our discussion, so. I at times am uncomfortable having uses that are in our zoning ordinance and no definition for them.
I think,
Easier said than done. Yeah, easier said than done, so. But at least I think it would apply, it would provide some, some flexibility, so. And, this is a code that's over 10 years, it's like 12 years old. We can always look at ways to improve it, so,
okay. That's something that we'll discuss at our next meeting then.
okay.
Okay.
I'll hand something, we'll have a presentation, and we'll have something, probably a little, something a little different from this that we'll hand out, and I just want to get some consensus from the Planning and Zoning Commission as to whether or not, leave the code as is or make these changes.
Okay. Because right now, if somebody shipped in items to sell from a greenhouse, they really couldn't, right? So it's something we should look at.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a comment, or just come? You can
Come on up, come on
step
up, and, just introduce yourself.
Yeah, Justin Schlecht. If anybody had any questions for me about what our plans and our intentions are and those kind of things, don't hesitate to ask. Just want to throw that transparency out of what we intend to do with our nursery and growing things and selling things and creating an opportunity for the community for a greenhouse and a nursery. So.
Okay. Yeah, there's definitely a need for it, I think.
Steve, would it be possible to say that it was both grown on the premises or relocated for sale purposes?
That's possible, yes, that's possible also.
I would be in favor of that, yes.
Yeah, and I've seen definitions of nurseries where it actually talks about grown on the property or brought to the property. And I know sometimes they're brought in pots, and other times they're brought and they're transplanted on the ground, but I think the primary thing is to make sure that there's actually, there's actually tree stock there that are grown on the property.
Right. You could have both, though, and still fall within the nursery
Okay,
heading.
okay. All right, well, thank you. We'll have something prepared. And as I said, we will have that minor subdivision plat, and we may have one or two rezonings for the next meeting. Thank you.
Okay. There's nothing else. I'll look for a motion to adjourn. Okay, a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor, state aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carried. Thank you.